Have you got a Golf 5 or a Golf 6 or even an S3 Audi that runs the old K04-0064? Well, we've got something new for you. Hey everybody, welcome back. We have a great video for you guys. If you own a Mark 5 or a Mark 6 Golf and or an Audi S3 that runs the old K04-0064 turbocharger, that's the integrated manifold together with a turbine housing cast as one piece, we've got something great for you guys. We've actually gone and developed a bolt-on replacement for the K04-0064 using a ball bearing rotating assembly which will basically go into your old end housings. We've redesigned the end housings with larger ARs, both on the turbine and the compressor stage, and we have got slightly thicker walls, so the actual castings are going to be stronger. They're going to handle higher heat, especially for those guys that operate at high altitude. You're not going to find that the manifold section and or the turbine housing section will be susceptible or as susceptible to cracking as the original unit. All right, guys, so we've designed a rotating assembly or chosen a rotating assembly that's currently in the market already, and we've basically adapted the end housings to work together with the said rotating assembly. The first challenge would obviously be making sure that the rotating assembly we've chosen for the specific turbo would not be restricted by the small ARs of the compressor housing and or turbine housing of the standard K04-0064. So to the drawing board we went, and we obviously had our work cut out for us. This is the culmination of lots of sleepless nights over many months. This is not a copy of someone else's design. This is basically a ball bearing Garrett G25 660. And we have basically gone and reproduced this. It's not a genuine Garrett, it is a reproduction of the genuine Garrett unit. And we have basically gone and used the rotating assembly of the G25 660, being the turbine shaft and the compressor wheel. And we have gone and taken the K04-0064 bearing housing, recast it, modify the inside structure of that bearing housing to be able to accept your bearing cartridge, and the different length of the rotating assembly going from K04 obviously down to the G25, and obviously the necessary changes to the end housings. And this is basically what we've got. Compressor housing has been redesigned. If you have a look, if anybody has ever done a hybrid on one of the compressor housings on a K04-0064, you will note that your inlet pipe inside diameter, once you've machined your radius profile going into the actual inlet, obviously from the opposite side, you'll actually notice that there's quite a big step. Now, if you have a look at this one, you'll actually notice that that step is really, really small because we've changed the inside diameter of the inlet pipe leading from the obviously air filter through to the actual inlet of the compressor housing. We've cut off the end and we've welded on a custom made piece to make sure that together with our silicone hose that we supply together with this turbocharger will remain as bolt-on and as effortless as possible to do the installation. There's a range of other components that are also included. Let's go through that now. Right guys, so from left to right on your screens, you'll basically start off with the boost control solenoid and a DV blank. This is not an actual diverter valve, it's just a solid billet aluminium blank just to close off the diverter valve in case you choose not to use it. We've got a billet blower valve, which basically just bolts directly into your comp housing. We've got a billet actuator. It's a TurboDirect billet actuator with 3 different spring pressures that you choose from. There's a spring inside already, and obviously you've got 2 additional springs. You can contact us, we'll give you the PSI rating of each spring. And then for your blower valve, we have 2 different spring ratings. Obviously the valve has got a spring installed already, so there's 2 different options. So obviously you'll set that at idle and make sure that the car runs properly. You get MLS gaskets, multi-layer steel gaskets. These are stainless steel for both the manifold to head as well as the downpipe to exhaust manifold, as well as your oil outlet When it comes to the water in and out, those are copper washers, which use your standard fittings which are already installed on the vehicle. We supply you with the copper washers. We give you studs and all the other screws and bolts that are required for the little blanking plate, should you choose to use the blanking plate on the compressor over here. Silicone hose, vacuum line, and a 5-layer silicone 90-degree bend. It's actually a reducer which basically goes onto your welded on outlet modification. Right guys, so that's the K04-0064 ball bearing option from TurboDirect. It utilizes your G25-660 rotating assembly, obviously built into the K04 hardware, making it 100% bolt-on installation. It is rated for 500 horsepower. Yes, Garrett's G25-660 is rated for 660 horsepower, but if you watch some other videos, Garrett G25 will never be able to produce 660 horsepower. It's actually a more accurate figure for the G25-660 is around about 500 to 550 horsepower. So for a true 500 horsepower Golf Mark 5 or Mark 6 or Audi S3 that utilizes in stock format the K03 or the K04-0064 turbocharger, this is a perfect bolt-on setup for you at a really, really good price. Contact us either through the sales department, info@turbodirect.co.za, phone us, or comment down below in the YouTube channel or at the bottom of this video. And we'd like to hear from you. Post some comments, like, subscribe. Catch you guys next time.